Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Okay, so many of you know, if you've been watching my show, I set this huge, audacious goal to help at least 1,000 business owners become profitable in 2019. Okay. That was big. But one of the ways that I was doing this is by shooting videos just like these, okay? And so today I want to talk about business strategy, all right? You know, one of the things about business is very easy to get into. We, wake up one day, we have a fabulous idea and decide, boom, we're going to go into business. Or you may be in the online industry. You might be in the network marketing industry. You know, there's all these different industries out here, but we wake up and say, oh, we're going into business. Okay. But then the question is, okay, you can go into business, but then how are you going to grow said business? Okay. And that is where a lot of times we miss the mark, is that, we decide that the business sounds great and everything, but we really never think about how we're going to grow the business. And that is what the strategy is all about. So to give an easy definition to what a business strategy is, for strategy, that's a big picture. So a business strategy is a working plan for you to achieve your big picture goals. That's going to require you to have a vision and also the mission, right? And so mission and vision, you kind of grow those things together. Every company has a vision statement and a mission statement, but those things are generally developed together, because when you're thinking about the purpose, like, why are you here? Why are you in business? What is your purpose with this business? When you think about that, then your vision for what you want to become and your overall mission kind of becomes this, one and the same, and that is developed at the same time. They're two different things, but they're developed at the same time, but they require you to have big picture thinking. And a lot of times where we fail as home business owners is our thinking is very small. We don't think that we're going to grow beyond our kitchen table. And the truth is, if you don't think past your kitchen table, you probably won't grow past your kitchen table. Okay. That's just the truth. All right. So you know that your strategy, you had success in your strategy if your business grows financially, if it and achieves your objective. If your strategy failed, then that means you need to go back to the drawing board and get a whole new strategy. Okay. And so this is what it requires you to really think about, what you're doing, who you're doing it for. Again, like, why are you here? And so once you start hammering those things out, then you develop your strategy, which is your big picture, but also the tactics. You got your big picture and you got a little moves to get to that big picture, right? That's the tactics that you use. And then you have to review your performance. You have to look at the things that are your key performance indicators that indicate whether you are actually, hitting the mark, or if you're just missing the target altogether. So the easiest example of this is me, right? So when I first started my tax business, I was like, great, I'm in business. But you know what I didn't think about when I started my tax business? How I was going to grow it. I had no clue. So then after I decided that I'm going to open my doors, I sat and I remember sitting at my desk very clearly thinking, okay, how am I going to get my first customer? So then I had to take stock of my strengths and weaknesses. I had to look at the landscape of tax professionals and people and to see how they were growing their business. The majority of people were growing their business in the traditional networking way. Lysandra didn't have that kind of time. All right. Because I am an Army spouse. And so I'm not in one place long enough to develop these lifelong relationships and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and go to BNI and all. I'm never in one place long enough to do that. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and then I had to go and take stock of myself, look at the lay of the land. And I figured out two things. One, I can run my mouth, as you can tell. And two, there really weren't that many people that were doing what I'm doing in an online space. So I said, okay, if I can dominate this online space, this could work. Right? This could work. And so it had to come in stages. My first stage is I had to increase the awareness for people that I exist. Right? Because if I did nothing, how would people in the online world know that I'm in business? So I had to get to work to let people know that I exist. So I had to go on the different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all these, Pinterest, Instagram. I was everywhere, right? Because I was trying to increase the awareness that I exist. And so from that, like, okay, now that I've created this awareness, now I need to pick a spot and dominate. All right. And so that is when I focused on home business taxes because that's where I come from. Like, people want to have a difficult time coming up with their target market. 9 times out of 10, if you look in the mirror, your target market is you. Okay. I came from the home business industry. I made mistakes in my taxes. I didn't make mistakes. I had a tax person who told me that I had no clue what I was doing. That is how that whole thing happened. But anyway, so I knew that also as I got started in my career, that there were other home business owners that were really trying to do these things themselves without the education behind it, therefore causing themselves problems on the back end with the IRS. And so I said, okay, great. This is the opportunity, because there wasn't anybody in the online space that was talking about home business taxes. So I said, okay, this is the opportunity. You have to find opportunities in your market with a hole that you can fill. So if you fill that hole, then you become the expert. So if you do this on day in and day out, then that is when you increase your awareness, and then you establish yourself as the expert, which is the key to online marketing. Okay. So then the strategy was, okay, I got to dominate the online space. The tactics was doing these every single day, Monday through Friday, doing Facebook Lives and putting them on YouTube. That was it. You have to keep it simple. A lot of times in business, we want to get these big, huge loop it, swoop it plans that become so overwhelming that we actually do nothing. But if you keep it simple and do simple things day in and day out consistently, then you will eventually grow your business. If you have gotten the right market, if you have hit the right price, if you have done all of those things, if you are consistently doing simple things over and over and over again without fail, then you will be successful. But what happens is that we give up too soon. If we don't make $100,000 in 90 days, then we feel like whatever we're doing doesn't work. I'm going to need for you to shift from the microwave mentality and understand that if you are going to dominate an industry, you need to look at dedicating at least a year. If you don't want to dedicate at least a year to doing what you're doing, then you really don't want to do it. You need to find a thing that you can do and dedicate at least a year to working consistently before you go on to something else. Okay. And so then, beyond that is, okay, how do I know this is working? Like, how do I know that doing Facebook Lives every day and, going on YouTube every day, how do I know that this is working? Well, I'll tell you what, in the beginning, I didn't know. Because usually when you first get started implementing some sort of plan in your business, at first you don't know if it's working, right? It's just like planting a field. If you plant 2 seeds, you really don't know if that's going to be enough, right? So you just continually to do more. You continually do more. And that's what I did. People ask me about Facebook Lives. Yeah, for the first 6 months, I do believe I was pretty much talking to myself. But it was something simple that I knew would increase awareness, and that if I just keep doing it, just keep doing it. And that's what I did. Now, so my key performance indicators then became, how many times did people share my content? How many views was I getting on Facebook? Now, the thing about Facebook, though, before people, get all wrapped up, is that if somebody sees your video for 3 seconds, that counts as a view. Okay. But even still, how many views did I have? That means that I crossed somebody's timeline how many times. So that became a key performance indicator for me. Once I started moving my content to YouTube, then it became, how many subscribers am I getting per day, per week, per month? How is it growing? Then from that, how many phone calls am I getting? How many leads am I generating? These are all of my key performance indicators to let me know how I'm doing. So then if my subscribers start falling off on YouTube, okay, is it that I need to get some new content? What needs to happen to get that subscriber base going back up? If people stop sharing my content, okay, why isn't anybody sharing my content? Do they not want to hear what I'm saying anymore? It's when you start having poor performance in your business, it's time to look at the strategy. And everybody has it. Everybody has a time of poor performance. This is why it's important for you to know your business, to just know if that is cyclical or if it's an indication of, that you need to do something different in your business. So this is what strategy is, you guys. Strategy is knowing what your big picture is and then creating a plan to get there, and you're measuring your performance along the way to see, yeah, this is working, or no, this is not working. But unfortunately, what we do is that we just go out there all willy-nilly. We just go on out there. We talking to all kinds of people. We don't know who we're really talking to. You don't have a specific message for someone. Like, one of the things that I did to increase my awareness is I connected with my target market. 10 people a day found out what I do that's in my target market, not 10 random folk. 10 people in my target market. This is why it's important for you to know who your target market is and what they need. Because if you don't, then you're just, throwing random messages up against the wall, and it might hit somebody, it might not. You got to be specific in your message. And this is what strategy development is all about. So when you are, if you're looking at your business and going, okay, this really isn't going anywhere, ask yourself, did you have a strategy to begin with? What were you planning to do? Where do you want to go with this business? If you aren't planning to create a business that's going to boss out, then you don't need to be in business. And and let me say this too, because I understand not everybody wants a huge business, and that's okay. But you still have to set some performance objectives. You still have to set a goal to where you're going to be and a strategy to get there. You still got to do it. I don't care what size business that you want. But if you are growing a business that's going to sustain your lifestyle, that's really going to pay your bills outside of a job, then yeah, you're going to have to develop a strategy in order to do that. You've got to have a big picture goal, and you've got to have plans to get there. If you don't, then you're just wandering all over the place. And then, when something else cute comes along, you'll be like, oh, squirrel, right? The distractions are easy. But when you have a strategy and a plan, then that's when you have intense focus, because you say, okay, this is the road I'm going to follow. So I will ask you, what kind of strategy do you have for your business? And if you can't honestly answer yourself and say that you have one, I encourage you to stop and just think. Think about your business. Think about who it serves. Think about what you do for them, for your target market. Think about all of those things. Think about where you see your business in 5 years. Think where do you see your business in 10 years? See, we have to get out of, again, the microwave short-sighted thinking. We have to start looking down the road a little bit. Start to dream a little bit. Just a little bit, right? Start to dream and think about where you want your business to be. And if you don't see your business being around in 5 years, then why are you here? And you can answer that question, because you also have to ask yourself, is this something that I'm doing for the time being just to generate some revenue, to make some money? If what you're doing right now is just to make you some money, I am for you. But what are you making the money for? As I will tell you, after a while, money will not be enough of a reason for you to keep going. It's got to be something bigger than you. That is what your vision and that's where your mission statements come in to remind you of what you were, what your purpose is and what you said you were going to do. That is what keeps you going. That is your guiding star. So I'm telling you, if you don't have an answer to that strategy question, I encourage you to stop. I encourage you to think, write stuff down, scribble stuff out, and it will all come together. You have enough inside you, and this is totally outside of the strategy part, but you have enough inside you to understand and to develop your vision and your mission. Now, you can't do it all yourself. You are going to have to connect with other people. No gazillionaire became a gazillionaire by doing everything themselves. Get out of the DIY. You can't do it all yourself. That's exhausting. You have to connect with other people that's going to help you grow your business. You've got things to help you grow your sales, things to help you manage your operations. You've got finance people, you got marketing people, you got social media people, you got all kinds of people that you need to connect with in order to help your business grow. You can't do it alone, but only you can come up with the overall strategy and your mission and your vision. That's what you have to do. And then you connect with other people to help you get there. Okay? So I hope that helps you out today. Thank you so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.